enough to try and make the referee take a call. "20 minutes of regulation time. India wins it back, trying to accelerate. And this can be a good move altogether. Launching it forward. Soumya with a bit of a heavy touch on that occasion. Can India crack the Nepal defense open? But that's a lovely ball. A bit of momentum going in. Cross floated in. Headed away. Possession stays alive. A little bit of a back pass. Wonderfully done. Terrific stuff. That's quality. Took 4 defenders on a run. And the shot blocked away. What a phenomenal move there by India. Misha Tokar, of course, did try and close the gates down. But Priyadarshini, that was glorious. 1, 2. And then a layoff for Priyadarshini. She smashed it straight at the goalkeeper. But she'll remember this move. Quality, sheer class altogether. Corner floated at the far post. A bit of a miscued palming. With no one from India to try and head it towards that far side. Another cross. And this time Nepal gets it out of harm's way. India does well to win it back, only to concede it. And now Nepal, they are on the move forth. There's a bit of space on the left. A fine duel in the making. Quality there. Wins the ball. Keeps on running. And eventually it'll be India. Only to give it away. This is crazy action. Brilliant stuff. This is the football that we expect to see. This is the football that keeps us awake at night. This is the football that keeps our heart pounding like a jackhammer. And now India once again. Soumya is it? Soumya will have to let the ball go. Yeah, this is one particular challenge that Soumya has. She keeps the ball for way too long. But again, if she has to release the ball, she'll also need support as well. She single-handedly otherwise won't be able to break down the opposition defense. And after a long time, Usha gets it just a few moments ago. However, she had to stop a shot. Had it not been for Usha's save, India could have actually got their noses ahead. This game has now come to life. Both the teams, they have primed their arms and they have set them in position, hoping to fire it on all cylinders, hoping to set it to free fire. And this time the offside flag going up. We'll take a look once again. Fine ball on towards the left, towards the right there. It's going to be a free kick for India. Taken quickly by Malati Munda. Falls back for India. Trying to switch it towards the right. And kind of injected way too much power into that ball. But ever since India has made the 2 changes, they're actually looking good. Hema Munda and Abhishta Basnet, the way they are combining out in the midfield, it's kind of given a new leash of life to these young Indian girls. And Nepal are now a bit more watchful than they usually are. Yes, obviously when they are going forward on the attack, they're looking good, but I think Indian defense has also kind of stood solid, and that's just another testimony to that. Every single long ball has been intercepted, and that's a kind of quality, that's a kind of solidity, that's a kind of defensive shape that you want in order to keep your opposition at bay. And now India trying to step forth from the left, misses out. Final quarter of football remaining in this particular fixture, and whatsoever gets added on, let's say around 4 to 5 minutes. Rekha gets the ball after a long time. She's been deployed in a much more of a defensive medio role altogether. And that's a good exchange. And Soumya comes into the act after a long time, had to take a call, had to make a save, and she found herself in very much of uncharted territories with the ball, getting a bit of an awkward bounce on that occasion. Lucky for her that it didn't really cause any harm, and she was okay to push it away. Referee says play on. Soumya, she'll have to switch it towards the left, and this time she's done it, and she's done it well. Almost outmuscled there. This time, India a throw has been given to Nepal on the contrary. But what a game this has been. I think particularly the second half, it has been a half rife with action. Absolutely brilliant, sensational stuff. Both the teams have come out all guns blazing. India has looked a lot more composed. And Nepal once again on the prowl. And Soumya says, you are not the only predator out here. I channel a similar spirit too. We'll take a look once again. That's a lovely setup. And could have been quite a good move altogether. Rekha Paurel. She was on the rise. Trying to get hold of it, and Soumya. She's been the heartthrob. She's been the nucleus in the Indian defense with the gloves on. And Rekha, I think she's also a very ruthless attacker. She can knit together a symphony of destruction for the defenders. And that was exactly why she was introduced. But India knows very well how to stop her. So far, they have done well. And these balls could have been better. Nepal wins it back. Trying to launch something of their own. They had a better option on to the right. Could have just laid it along the carpet. Wanted to go for glory. Wanted to go for fancy. And eventually launched one forward. That took a long deflection along the way. Goes out of play for a throw-in. And Nepal coming up with another crucial change. This time in a bit to solidify that defense of theirs. Pooja Rana is making her way into the center. Because India has been threatening off late. And they'll eventually take off Pratiksha Chaudhary. Pratiksha had a very good start to the game. Initially was extremely active, very involved, very invested. But as the game has progressed, he has kind of faded away. Oh, that could have been tricky. I think she realized it way too late. And now Nepal trying to punish India for that. A chance, gets the ball, takes one on the volley. Just a bit more elevation. That could have been a screamer of a finish from Sabita Rana Magar. Should have been much better from the Indian defense. They'll be thanking the heavens that the ball was not on target, or else they could have been toast by now. In Nepal, they were quick to pounce upon that chance. They just needed a bit more accuracy to get the job done. Sadly enough, it wasn't there. Nepal wins it once again towards the center. And keeps on knocking on the doors. India recovers. Trying to launch something that can leave Nepal in a bit of frenzy. This might be one of those moves they had to keep it under control. Overexcitement can lead to things like these. I think she almost took it that it was kind of confirmed that the ball's going to be laid at the feet of the player who was running in from the right. It wasn't the case. You have to lay it off. You have to perfect the art of putting weight on the ball. Yeah, that's decent. India, however, they won't let go so easily. Their defense has been a lot more active. Their defense had to be active because Nepal, time and time again, has been challenging them, has been drawing them. That's quality. Absolutely brilliant stuff altogether. Abhista Basnet, this is what she brings to the table. Kept her eyes on the ball. A very young player. A young sensation in the making. And that was absolutely sensational. The way she came in with that challenge just in the nick of time. Another cross. Soumya Just take a look at how unfazed she was. Came out of that line, kept her eyes on the ball, and it just bobbled ahead of her. And she picked it up with a smile on her face. That's how good she is. We simply love to watch her in action. And I think today, yes, initially she had her challenges, but the overall output, she'll be very, very happy about it. She'll have to still learn a lot of things. She'll have to practice. She'll have to get a lot more game time. But on this occasion, she kind of falls short. It's going to be a corner. We are 81 minutes into the play. You can see the sheer force, the sheer love for the game. Everyone enjoying this picture. Everyone absolutely thrilled by the presence of two national teams. And it's still 1-1. It's still an excellent game of football. Corner taken at the far side. Kind of overpowered. And that will be a throw-in at the end of the day for Nepal. Is there a victor still in this picture, or do we share the spoils of war? Takes it quickly enough. And now Nepal. Do they have plans of trying their luck from range? Trying to chip it forward. Blocked away. India still in desperation of winning the ball back. But Nepal looks in total control. Another ball forward, headed to safety. Falls back for Nepal. Does well to control that. Recycle it. And now just from the right side. Might be opening. Cross delivered. And denied. Stern eyes in the mix. And phenomenally well done by the Indian defender. It was Santosh once again who had stretched her boots out and just gets it out of play in the way it should have been. Nonetheless, it's a corner. Another set piece for Nepal. I think there's been no dearth of action or excitement here in PALJOR. Everyone, they have got the full value of the ticket that they have brought. Another header, but Nepal wins it back in the box, still trying to lay it off. Another shot, has a bit of deflection and a bit of a drip as well. And that was sensed out by Soumya, so she did track back slightly. Yes, that's the deflection that we were talking about. For a moment, Soumya was willing to get back to that line, wanted to take no risk. Corner once again. Floated in, headed away by the Indian defense, loud and clear. Nepal delivers another cross. Soumya spills it. And the referee says it's not a penalty. The entire defense came together on this occasion and ensured the fact that the ball doesn't cross the line. It was a decent bit of positioning from Soumya, but the ball spilled out. And that is exactly where a second chance could have been created. Unfortunately, for Nepal, they missed out on capitalizing on that one. And India stays afloat. India stays alive. This game stays alive. What a thriller this has been. A thriller of the highest order. A thriller that has the ingredients of taking it a couple of notches higher to a shade of masterclass. They try and launch it forward. The better option could have been the one to the left, and I think that's exactly what Soumya is trying to say. You should have been passing that to me, because she had no marker. I think at times these are the few things you have to be wary about. If you're not aware about which should be the right pass for you, always looking for the easy pass won't be your right option, won't be the right solution. One back. And now storming in from the right. India needs to be a bit more careful here. Oh, that's quality. That's commitment. That's sheer commitment and nothing else. She went down, shielding the ball with her body. Cross at the far side. trying to head it back into play. Unfortunately, no one from Nepal to try and wrest control. And now India. Is that a sniff? Is that a glimmer of hope for them? Well. At times you just got to lay it off into the center. You can't just have one preferred route that you will be eyeing for. There's the ball. The idea was picture perfect. Only if someone from Nepal could have circled around. But Nepal, relentless, ruthless in their pursuit. They keep on coming in waves. Can they break the deadlock once again? But India persistent as well. India as solid as a rock. Not willing to give up. Not willing to go down without a fight. This is absolutely crazy. What a game we are witnessing. And this is what happens when an unstoppable object, let's say Nepal in this case, meets an immovable object, let's say India. This has been a war of attack versus defense. India's defense in the second half has screamed brilliance. Nepal's attack in the second half has screamed alarms for the Indian side. Nepal again from that right. Another cross floated in, chested. But before they could take the shot, India blocks the way. Ball stays alive in the box. It's an opportunity for Nepal. Will they lay it off on the right? They do. Cross comes in at the far side. A heading. But then a header actually. But misses out. And finally India wins the ball back. What a moment of madness. And these are testing times for India. What a lovely opening there. What a lovely cross. Again, that first start just getting a bit too heavy on that occasion. Purnima Rai failing to control. But Nepal, do they stop? No, they don't. They keep on knocking on the doors. They want goals here. And India wins it back. India says, let's have a lunge of our own. Nepal says, not so easy. And they come again from the right. Anita Basnet, what a play. She's been the live wire of the Nepal side. The Indian defense, do they go down that easy? Do they let their guards down? No, with a capital N. They fight. And they fight with their hearts on the line. They fight with their bodies and spirits on the line. They swing from one end to the other. They take a hammering. They stand up. And they keep on denying Nepal over and over and over again. That's what heart is all about. That's what commitment is all about. That's what passion, madness, craziness is all about. And now India, couple of methodical passes. Again, just trying to control the tempo on that occasion. Wanted to lay it off Priyadarshini, but Nepal might be on the way forward, does well to get past a couple of defenders. India just getting a bit too confused on that one. And the throw-in for Nepal, I think that should have been better from Hema Munda. She kept on driving at times. You got to check that run of yours. Because if you're not doing that, you are giving it an unnecessary throw-in because India actually had that under control. Nepal wins the ball back. India tries and stall them. Stays with Nepal. Renuka Nagarkoti had a few chances of her own. Last minute of regulation time and then whatsoever gets added on. 4 minutes is what we have. Looks like we have a change lined up. Nepal will be trying out Anjana Rana Magar. And Anjana, she was a part of the Nepal side. It played India. And she is coming here just to ensure that she gets a bit of game time. But I think they'll be absolutely delighted with the way that Usha Nath has played. Again, not those crucial saves, of course, but then she had to stop a couple of shots which did need some saving. and they were pretty well taken. Right, Nepal comes in with a bit more reinforcement, and they come in with a free kick. They have got Renuka Nagarkoti, they have got Anita Basnet as well up top, and they have got a few big names in the form of Rashmi Kumari Gising. It's going to be Renuka with the delivery, and that has been blown out of the ground for a goal kick. And Renuka won't be happy with that. I think she would have expected that this could have been a better move. It's not the case, however. We'll take a look once again. Renuka stomps it forward, and it kept on flying and flew all the way out of the park. Goal kick it is. Taken quickly enough. One back by Nepal though. Slightly flatter that goal kick. Renuka wins it back. Switches it to the right. Another long ranger. Soumya says, right, I'm here. Don't forget me. Absolutely do not forget me. I have the captain's armband. I have a job to do. And shots like that, you cannot leave me phased. Despite the fact that it was a very well taken shot. It had power. It had a bit of curve as well to it. But Soumya has been sensational today. We'll take a look once again. Fine setup towards the right. Good first touch. Opened up that shooting lane, and there. Straight down the heart. And decent positioning from Soumya as well. The positioning creates a lot of difference for a goalkeeper, for a custodian, because if she's well stationed, if she knows what the position should be in a particular enterprise, I think it gets a lot more easier for her to reach the ball, thereby making a save look a regulation one. But you are an inch to the left or right, you never know. Things might get complicated. Hema Munda brought down. That was a fine duel. Hema didn't want to give the ball up at any cost. And now she's won her team a free kick. Might be a last roll of the dice for Team India. And I think also kudos to Meera Tamang, the way she's handled the game. There you go, Hema reaching the ball. Actually did well. And then a bit of a friendly hug altogether from the right. Just bringing her down. Possibly taking her down, sitting for a quick chat. And right, let's have a bit of a chat. I think Hema said after the game for sure. Soumya with the free kick. Soumya asking her teammates to step up. Is India going to push for the numbers forward? Is there a late twist? Is there a late moment of reckoning in this fixture? Soumya goes it all the way. Anjana almost built it. Early jitters for Anjana. Late ones for Nepal. Trying to grab the ball. She's made an entire hash of affairs. But lucky for her, India fails to capitalize. Now Nepal, with a bit of a late plunge, they'll have to go long, they'll have to go aerial. Or at least they'll have to try an eye for the box. Renuka gets the ball, is it? Yes, it is Renuka. Now pushes it back. And India blocks it once again. Might be one final shot before the referee brings the curtains down on this game. Does well, lining one up. Good turn. Takes the shot. Soumya collects that. Strong throughout the game. She's got ice in her veins, a volcano in her heart. And that volcano are all these saves. A flurry of saves. Denying Nepal. As Meera Tamang blows the final whistle. And eventually draws curtains on this fixture. What a brilliant game of football. What a high intensity fixture. A game that oscillated from one end to the other. At PALJOR in Gangtok. The final scoreline, India 1, Nepal 1. The spoils of the war have been shared. They said that this was a friendly battle. This was an exhibition match. But truth be told, there was hardly anything friendly about this. There was hardly anything benign about this. It was a full-blown battle. A battle of ferocity. A battle of intensity. and a battle that did pit a couple of amazing sides, India and Nepal. Absolutely terrific, absolutely sublime. And the result, a befitting one, 1-all at the end of 90 minutes.
The match will go to penalty shootout. I request the players to be ready.
Right, this game's not yet done. It's going to be a it's going to be a penalty shootout, so we'll have a victor at the end of the day. Initially, what was thought that the spoils will be shared, but it isn't the case. We'll have a penalty shootout to decide who will be the victor. So stay tuned. This game is far from over. You wanted drama, and we have cinema at our hands. Right, both the teams step out in the center. And India will be taking the first shot. And that was indeed why Anjana Rana Magar was actually sent minutes before the game came to an end. Both the goalkeepers given out the instructions. Soumya, she's had an excellent fixture altogether. And now she'll have the chance to be the hero. In fact, looks like it's going to be Nepal with the first shot and not India. Excuse me for that. And this possibly can be the most intriguing, the most fascinating part of the day for the audience out in the center. Sabita Rana Magar will be the one to take the first shot for Nepal. And Soumya, who's had a great game of football today, who's proved to be the messiah for India on multiple occasions. Can she once again do the honors? Meera Tamang just ensuring that the ball's well placed before the shot's taken. And the deafening roar at the PALJOR stadium will tell you how excited the audience is. Right then, Sabita it is. And Sabita finds the net. Soumya going the wrong way. And Sabita with a smile on her face. Absolutely a cakewalk. It's all about composure. It's all about finding the right target. Nepal surges ahead. And at the other end, now for Nepal, it's going to be Anjana Rana Magar. And India will have Priyadarshini stepping up to take one from the spot. Make no mistake, Anjana, she's a stalwart in the game's truest sense. Priyadarshini takes it all wrong, and Anjana gets the first save of the shootout. Not the best of penalties. It was an emasculated hit. It took a bit of an awkward elevation as well. And I think if you take an overall look at the body position, it will tell you that she just wanted to place that. At times, you have to do better than that. There wasn't any intent of power. Ideally, if you have an intent of power, you'll have your shoulders moving, attack to the corners. Because your initial power comes in all the way from the hip. And then when you swing that leg of yours, you channel it to the ball. Right. And Nepal has got a goal as well. I think there was a bit of a technical glitch that was on. And Nepal made no mistake. Well, apologies for that. India has now missed out 2-on-2. This time Santosh stepping up and shot it way above the post. And this time it's make or break. If Nepal scores, India will be in pretty much uncharted territories here. And Anita Basnet stepping up. She'll have a golden chance to put this game to bed once and for all. Obviously, India will have their shot coming in. Anita smashes it out. She's dragged it wide, and India might just have a bit of breathing space here. Soumya did go in the right side, and it wasn't on target. Can India bounce back? Two crucial saves altogether from Anjana Rana Magar. In India will have Ashtam Oram stepping up. Ashtam's got some international exposure before, and obviously should be the one hoping to get at least a goal back. Not the best of penalties. Anjana denies again, and India misses out 3-on-3. What's really going on? Not a single conversion on that. Taken along the carpet and goes horribly wrong. Right, if Nepal scores, that should be game, set and match. So Soumya has got to save this. No other way out. Nisha Thokar it is. Nisha takes one and gets the ball in the back of the net. Nepal conquers the exhibition match. India has to concede after a phenomenal battle of 90 minutes. Fans are enjoying themselves out in the center. It's a big victory for Nepal at the end of the day. It came through a tiebreaker. India couldn't really conjure the kind of precision that was needed in the shootout. Not a single shot hit its mark. And once again, composure prevailing out there for Nisha Thokar. And she was cool and calm, sending it way past Soumya after proving what she is capable of. Unfortunately, she fell short in the shootout, but the fans, they thoroughly enjoyed themselves What a game this has been. It kept on oscillating from one end to the other. It had all the ingredients of being a superb game, and it was a superb game indeed. But well played to both the sides, but eventually Nepal managed to secure a victory through tiebreaker. The full-time scoreline was India 1, Nepal 1. But after India missed out on their on their shootouts, Nepal managed to take the bragging rights home. We'll take a look at the highlights of the game. India and Nepal both started off on a fairly aggressive note. None of the teams were going on a bit of a cagey affair. India came in all the way from the left and right. They did try and find out chances, but couldn't really crack them open. A few good saves. Soumya was brought into the action over and over again.